Good morning, class. Welcome to Homeroom with Unc and Market Monk. Morning, P. How's your week?
Really good. I did pretty well on some oil stocks that I'd been holding for a while. Elf, a huge winner. Um, Klarna, big winner in the casino with a with a put, but that works. And then some of the healthcare stuff has been quietly good for me too. So pretty good there. Did well in some software off some levels, but with those you can trade them you know, three or four or five times, and that's not always the case for a stock like Snow. I mean, sometimes it takes off the level and it'll go for months, but we're not in that moment right now. But still, winners off the levels.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Overall, winners off the levels. The DCA plays probably doing the best, but the good and the bad there is it's hard to get full. When you're trying to DCA in, so you get out of your zone and you take a little profit and you continue to manage the trade. The longer stuff, Oxy and all the shippers last week just did really good. That geopolitical environment kind of pushing that a little bit, and kind of hard to, for lack of better terms, day trade.
Yeah.
Unless you, um, for me, I'm thankful that I traded in a really bad market for a few years. But unless you can take them dimes and nickels off of levels, um, there's not a whole lot of range out there. And I'm sure that's where this conversation will go in general, is talking about the market conditions and how to trade in it. But for me, it's like you can't be late because it's probably going to bleed out. Just lack of volume, and if it does get moving, you probably need to take profit because again, lack of volume is not going to hold that move up. So just kind of mindful of where we're at, and liking the what's offered, but knowing that's not going to really affect the bottom line as much as it will in August in the stuff I buy today.
Yes, and I think for me, you find a decent bottom on a stock that's holding, or pivot and all that, and you catch that early early morning flush, and it'll tap that level. And Snow 172 was like that, and then you see the bigger picture on it, that it's 200C, 250C out at the end of the year and all that, and everything about that read can be you know right on, but that doesn't mean it's not going to pop $8 or $10 and then just come right back to that level the next day or the end of the day, or um, or whatever. So you have to really get your psychology right on those kinds of setups. And for me, I mean, the easiest way to do it is you just got you got separate accounts. I'm going to trade it off this level. I'm going to buy it down here, and the buys in the longer term, get more room, and you're willing to absorb that. You might even have a level below that you're thinking about, that
Hmm.
will you're willing to buy, but you're not gonna hold the trade through a move like that. And I I see have seen a lot of people who um you know you you day trade on the you don't day trade on the big picture, and it's like the big picture's right, but the trade's not there. Same with options, that if you don't have an awareness of what's going on with those option contracts, a basic understanding of the Greeks, it's so easy to be wrong, to be right and still lose money because of the way premiums bleed out, or those options just aren't moving like you need them to. I mean, the like MSTR, worst thing that can happen is you know uh, like 1.5% overnight, right? That does nothing for those weekly options that people hold overnight. You lose money on it. You need the big percentages, and um, I think a lot of times people linger too long in stocks that had made a big move, and now they're just kind of stuck in it. And I even see that with Fastly, because believe it or not, people are trading options on Fastly, even though given the price of the stock, shares make more sense. Been down that road, but they'll be like, why aren't my puts moving? And the thing fell 2% after moving, you know, 60, 80%. Like, so it's like, you really definitely don't know what you're doing if you're getting in stuff like that. Um, Same way with this kind of amateur TA that happens after a big pop, and I can tell when it's bullshit when they've got some number that I've never seen from you that's $1 off where you are on an $18 stock, and it's like, okay, I don't know where they're getting that, but it's nothing like what we do.
Yeah, the levels and the moves. Um, Fastly's like the anomaly right now, so it's kind of funny that everyone's on that. But real levels, real moves, knowing when to get it on and off the bus. That's kind of to revert back to the plan. That's kind of important to know or to have in your head. Fastly's. I mean, I could pull up our private conversation, but you're like, well, 15's coming because that's just what the flow told you. And I was like, well, 15's coming, Pete. We're going right to 1727. Just is what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
It's because I mean that was the initial part of my zones was fast movement through them, just a tradable channel, um, which is kind of funny because we're in that market right now, tradable channels, and people, it's not enough range for people because they're used to the last year and a half, um,
right.
and for the FOMO people, they're first to get ate up because the move again, if you're not already there, if you weren't there in the pre-market, if you're not real quick on that secondary move, just taking a trade, yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. So for me, the what hasn't been said here, it needs to be swimming in the pools that you're used to becomes very
Yeah,
important. I mean, I couldn't imagine trying to, and it's probably comes off in my comments to you a lot around right now is if it's shit I don't know, I'm very dismissive because I'm looking for that safety in the market and in the levels because I know where we currently are.
yes, yeah, absolutely. And
Oh, hey, real
I
quick, I'll just throw this up because we've been doing this lately. So FSLY, just search 1727 real quick. This is 329.24 people. FSLY, there's your channel right there. So these lines have been on our charts or in our system for 3 years. Look at 1, 2, 3. This is where we drew them at. So, um, we just stick with the plan. I mean, that's why I bring it up, not to brag. Oh, we've had these levels for so long. No, we're sticking with the plan. We're waiting for it to line up, and then we attack. It's that simple. It's that simple. And P had the flow here. I mean, I could brag all day that it's on my level. Yeah, yeah, yeah. P came in and said 10. They're not letting go. As soon as it goes below 10, they just pile in. Something's up. We don't know
Yeah,
why, but the thesis is the chart's going to move. The chart moved to my line. Next trade. I mean, it's that simple around here, and I think that people just don't even have that in their playbook. Um, they're too narrow. They're just too narrow. Where we cast a pretty fucking big net. Sorry for the rant.
yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing about Fastly too, that it doesn't have there's not some sector story that it's attached to. So I don't even try to do that. I mean, they
Sure.
do like video production software basically, and that can mean lots of things, and they can throw AI in their story, um, here and there, but really, it's just it's kind of the price point and share construction and all that in a readable setup, and then we have history and levels to it. So it was, yeah, it was time to yeah, time to take a look at look at that one. And
Well, I mean, and to go on like even the back end, like we could be the guys right now talking about look at Fastly holding 1727. Oh look, just
yeah,
here's your thesis behind it. Why we're going to 25. We could be that people, but it's not it, boss. I can't predict
no,
this number right here. This 192 on Friday, this 192% volume that it's going to get, what it needs to hold this up, which the rest of the market doesn't have on those pop and fade moves we're kind of talking about. That's the key, and we can't predict that. we can watch it, we can follow it, we can see how the first hour reacts, we can see pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day highs and lows, how they react, but we can't tell you what's there. And the bottom is a lot fucking farther now than the top. And
Yeah.
3-to-1 ratio is always part of my plan. It's always a part of my notes. So if you follow me, it's a part of your plan manually. Just comes with it. It's the fries and the Coke to the Big Mac, so to speak. Um, but yeah, I just on Twitter drove me crazy this week, because I mean I was on there a lot because I didn't know what to do with my hands, and they have every story in the fucking world for a stock that could drop 50% overnight.
Yeah, and I one that we've seen this before, Lemonade, and Lemonade is one that, I mean, I've got these little levels down there, and we were all over it back then. We did come back to it under 30
30
bucks,
bucks, yep.
um, and then the flow setup was there. But I recall people on that first move over 50 were all over it, dedicated Lemonade accounts basically, just wave of the future, and they had all the stories to go with it, and they throw some TA up there, and then they all disappear, and they weren't talking about it when it went under 30. Well, then it moves again, several times, and at 60, at 70, at 80, those accounts come back, and they start talking up Lemonade. So that like that pop in consolidations is the only time that they notice it. They don't have any clear plan for a pullback, and I can kind of see why, with the nature of those accounts. So it pops to 50, and so as a influencer, you could call your shot and tell people to short it, which would kind of work. But again, the IV's elevated. It's hard to hold a put swing on something like that. But that doesn't really generate engagement on social media. It's that we're going higher that does. So they don't know how to prepare for a pullback, or even know where one might happen, where we'll step away for weeks, a month, whatever, and I'm like, hey, this one's coming back around. Or yeah, I mean, even sometimes I don't recall with this one, but maybe I had some flow at 40, and I'm like, I think I got something here, and you're like, nah, not yet, and then we wait, and then we come back to it, and then here we go. So it's having a system in place where we're both doing our own thing, and we bring it together, and bounce it off each other, and then understanding the flow first stocks, the TA first stocks, like um, how that works is has proven much more reliable. But there's more rigor to that than just wait to see what popped off and then start shot calling. And I don't know, they must have a fairly basic stock screener that just is on, I guess, just percent it moves up, and they know some TA key terms, and go from there. But it's a good way to blow up accounts, and it's the most popular kind of content that's out there as far as trading. So um, you know what not to trade, I guess. Long story short.
No, definitely went out to trade it. Oh, I busted it down. I was gonna pull up the Lemonade real quick. Bam. 10, 20, 24. There's your channel. Do the math, people. All right, sorry, I'm gonna stop doing
Yeah, yeah.
that. But yeah, and that's just a good one because of where it is today and the path it took. Kind of rotate to where we are currently. I got a note. I mean, I said it last week too, but I'll say it now. TA first. Why? Um, because we're range bound a little bit. There's low
Yeah.
volume. Gotta be very mindful of volume in this market. Some days I'm coming in and looking at whole watch list on 11 my time, so we're 3/4 of the way in, and we've only got like 40 60% of the 30-day average. um there is some anomalies out there that are getting good, but usually news related or around the earnings or whatnot, maybe sector. But very mindful of volume right now because that's what's going to keep you in the range. I mean, if you don't understand that you need that gas to get out of the range, um, it's going to be a long day. If you're late at all, you're probably going to get killed, especially on your side. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and in that market, I mean, it's unsaid, but I always kind of rotate to, like if I thought I could get my level, I could probably get a little cheaper than my level. I do become a little cheaper just because I think it'll be offered. And, you look at your larger time frames and pick some weekly wicks um, and kind of go from there. But I mean, just where we are, it's part of that rotation. I'm confident that the whales won't let the market go above 700. We'll just use SPY without being positioned. So
Yeah,
so you'll
yeah.
see it. Could that be another 4 to 6 weeks? Sure. Um, could it just instantly take off as soon as we figure out the Middle East thing? Sure. But right now, this week, don't really know, and I know where we've been the last 2 or 3 weeks. So just be very, very mindful of trends and volume, weekly wicks, all that stuff. Uh, wonder what kind of notes like that you have from your side, if it looks different over there, or whatnot.
A lot more September popping up on my end, and without the without the first boxing glove compliment, if that makes sense. Like
Yep,
the so
yep.
they're just
No March, no April.
yeah, yeah. So they're just kind of like and basically what that one thing that kind of means to me is that it could turn into a September, January
Okay,
setup,
okay.
where they're just gonna kind of wait it out, or they could pile into that earlier strike, um, and there's some existing open interest out there, so it's a little tentative. I think when I'm looking at the kinds of news that is moving things right now, you had a on the AI side of things, there was a a Claude, one of the
Yeah.
chatbots or whatever, that it had some sort of potential breakthrough with coding for cybersecurity. And so then instantly CrowdStrike and Net and like all them took a hit on Friday and, you know, dropped 7% or whatever, closed the day down 4 or 5. And so that's the aspect of the AI story right now to me is that it's you know demonstrations of potential competence for this for this to do things that existing software companies do that you pay for, and it's like, oh well, why would we need them? It's basically, we saw this with the idea about AI replacing workers and all that. The real story there is that you're not getting rid of CrowdStrike for lots of reasons, and I so these pullbacks like that, they do present some opportunities. The instant opportunity is very limited. I mean, it's just if you catch
The
that
the
move
day
down,
trade.
the day trade, right? It's like, okay, that this RSI is at 10 on the 5 minute chart. I think this probably is going to bounce a bit, and you can do that, or if you can catch some momentum down, if you want to do it that way. I wouldn't try to do both. I mean, I think you got to pick one. If you're going to day trade options, and it's like I'm going to scalp puts or I'm going to scalp calls. You don't keep switching back and forth, because at the end of the day, you'll do 7 trades and make $50 or lose $50, or much worse. But anyway, so that how that's going to work for the bigger story is important, and we'll see how the market digests all this over time. But I kind of read those as kind of short term, and the same is true with with tariffs. Like, oh, Trump's got to pay back all the tariffs. I mean, look, if I remodeled the guy's bathroom, I wouldn't be that confident that I'm going to get a check, right? So you think he's just going to hand over, $150 billion? Like, it's not going to happen. They're disappointed with the Supreme Court ruling, work their way around it. Yeah, oh, you can do it in an emergency. Oh, okay, well, we're at war with Iran, so there's your emergency. Or it's the war on drugs, so here's like they'll just keep doing that. And so again, that to me is another one of those short term kind of things. And the best thing that could happen for us is a very active Trump related news cycle, because that's gonna wake up a lot of volume and kind of get the market moving. But you can't really, I wouldn't really trade that in a reactionary way that you plan on holding for a long time. Uh, that's how I would put it. And then back to your point, to me, all of that is a great excuse to throttle the market and keep it under 700. That you can keep us in this 3-2 market while not changing the overall direction of where we're going. But kick the can down the road. Lots of park and wait emojis. That's what I would expect to see in a number of different sectors right now.
I didn't want to cut you off, but I should have because you pivoted it a little bit on me. And the first part I had was so good, so I'm going to try just to get that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but uh, man, I don't post this under here. I guess I'm doing this all week. I don't post shit like this for fun. That's 49% of my money that I get to keep. Right there, 49%. I should have spent $100. Should have spent 107. I spent 54. Why is that important? Is this a mindset? It's a lifestyle. CrowdStrike just went on sale. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's how you gotta look. I mean, if you were in the store and you were gonna buy a Super Nintendo and they marked it down $50, would you go, "Oh man, I'm not gonna buy the Super Nintendo now"? I mean, and
Yeah.
that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, and that mentality, that idea right there comes in on stocks as soon as they get bad news. Um, the the first point I had in that part was, and we said it a while ago. We should probably preach it a little better. But there's a day trade, there's a swing trade, and there's a I'm not fucking leaving Wolf of Wall Street meme trade, where you're just gonna
Yeah.
own that shit. I don't really like to day trade at all. The shit that I want to own, because I'm gonna trade it
Mm.
at a price, and then I'm gonna look back at that and say, shit, I should have just owned it. So I don't put them in that basket ever. So I really rarely do. It's gonna have to have, well, I'm not keeping MDB, but it's gonna have to have that MDB type of range for me to do that. You know what I mean? It's just it it
I'm
has
keeping
to have.
MDB, but I have my limits.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like,
not
you
keeping
don't know
that.
what to.
Sorry, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'll take that 200 to 370 and call it a wrap. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and again, I mean that's so that outlet or that stock for me is probably going to offer range like that again, and I just would rather trade it that way. So it's in a different basket. But
Yeah.
circle back on that. Part of your plan, man, is this a day trade? Is this a swing trade, or is this? I'm just gonna fucking keep this thing. And you should probably, especially if you're a new guy, you should probably label stocks that way in general. I mean, that should be the first thing you put. That way, you don't get caught day trading something. Um, you do want to keep, or you don't keep something you should have just fucking day traded and said thank you for. And I forgot what you were talking about on the second NP, so I'm gonna let you take that back over.
Oh yeah. So the basically in the like with Trump and the
Oh, the
tariffs
news. I
and
can take that. I can got you. I got you on that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, like we did it last year. I mean, we did the saying was, what the news is on Monday, we're gonna be in a totally different place on Friday, and
yeah,
it's not that fast for me. But Trump is just a news animal, and the tariffs did come up in that, and yeah, the court said you're fucking the too long didn't read of that court decision was you're doing the paperwork wrong. That was it.
yeah,
There was no ruling for him to pay the money back, and for us to pay that money back to anybody, whether it's us or them or whatever, that's gonna take a court ruling. So don't expect that to happen. I mean, at all. I don't. I think that's a non-issue. It's how do we go forward and just do the paperwork right. It's just Stormy
yeah,
Daniels 2.0. You just did the paperwork wrong, and you're gonna get taxed for it, so to speak. And they look for any little mistake for him, to kind of put out there that he's doing something illegal or wrong. And um, not it. You should have a list of the tariff trades. I mean, Funko was it for me. I brought the chart up while you were talking about it,
Yeah, yeah.
because it was pretty adamant that they were getting killed by these tariffs, and um, uh, that's a temp for me. That's temporary FUD the other way because it's just going to come back in a week or two, um, in the same system we've been in for the last 6 months, where tariffs aren't healthy for stocks in general. Like it's just another business expense. It's how you kind of have to look at it. So the war more important to me. Your oil out of nowhere just makes sense now.
Yeah.
Tactical nukes on the table, yada yada yada, all that stuff. It's just very fuddy. So, any kind of peace deal, I think that's when we're gonna get. I can say it simply as a SPY 700 push, but I think a lot of this shit that was bouncing off low levels, is just gonna take off. But again, 4 to 6 weeks, like I said earlier. So we're there until that happens. And then there's the other end. We do have a conflict, and where are we in that situation? Um, so volatility, right? It's just the Trump volatile market, so to speak.
Yes, and the oil stocks with any kind of geopolitical news, I mean, you want to be already in that stuff rather than
Yeah,
chasing it.
you want to own it.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Your Oxy, your
and
Cop. Yeah, I mean, I, I
yep,
I put shitty shit like Devon in there just because you sold me on it. Um,
yeah,
but your Zom, maybe a little bit of your Dino. Um,
right,
yeah, you gotta be diversified, so to speak, in that, and that is I'm not fucking leaving because you want to own a little bit of that as you grow up, as you cut your fucking mop top hair off. You need to have a little bit of oil and a little bit of gold in your fucking portfolio, and that's just what it is. You want to be diversified in that aspect, and when someone offers you the oil at a discount, you take it. So thank you, Pete.
yeah. um, all right, do you want to get to some
Boring?
boring
Yeah,
stuff?
roll right to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, roll right into that.
All right, so let me get on my day chart.
What were you on? 1 minute? Sorry.
Or 4 hour. All right, so copper, yeah, healthy consolidation up here. It's middle of the zone, really, or maybe a little above that if you count four. But it was the 5 to 7 trade was always sort of what I've been after with copper. So there's plenty here. I think steel is where you want to be, and basically how I would put it. I mean, so you have the price of copper, the most immediately sensitive to that, other than copper, is aluminum. And then steel is a little bit removed from that. And we're in an environment where you want that because steel is playing catch up to copper. You don't want to get into copper where it needs this to keep pushing higher. Steel can grind up within the consolidation, so that's why steel shows up. You have one you're going to talk about, so makes perfect sense as far as what's going on with
Shit, I
them.
got two now.
Yeah.
Good point or time to point out that I ain't fucking perfect. Man, Southern Copper, did I let go of that too fucking early? Bought it under 100, thinking it would be an over $100 stock. Probably got out of it, 120, 130s. It's 200 and something now. Just off
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
moving copper. So you don't get them all right, but you get a piece of them all. That's look. That's under the company name. That's our company saying.
Yep. And then gold. Yeah, I mean, if
Did you see the 15K in 5 year FUD?
yeah, I did.
Okay, okay,
Yep. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of chart shapes. I'm sure you could draw on this or whatever, but is this a healthy chart to you?
Well, it's a commodity, so
Yeah.
without taking volume into account, hell yeah, it's healthy. It's
Yeah.
fucking it's grinding away. I mean, since I know what it is and I know what the move it is like, it's not healthy in that regard for the world. But I mean, from a chart, just a technical standpoint, nothing wrong with it. I mean, you have higher consolidation off of those, your two big candles, which kind of define the range at 56 and 44. But you're holding
Right.
five from
Right.
that. for a month. That's yeah, nothing wrong with that. Healthy as shit.
Yeah, and it's just you when you've made a move like this, it opens you up for like the percentages get larger that it can hit on any
Yeah.
given day,
Yeah. Well, it's that
and so
psychological thing we talk about. I mean, we don't deal with
yeah,
5,000 a lot, but we deal with 10 and 100 a lot. Um,
right,
and it's the same thing. Yeah. So going to 550, not a big move. It's just not now. So a
right,
$500 move ain't a big move. Yeah.
yep. And then silver, best opportunities is definitely here if you're looking um, to trade this stuff because you easily go mid candle and you easily think about 100 again and it's blah blah blah. Not as easy as the first time around, but still a lot of meat on the bone with silver
You
for
can you.
sure.
I mean, AG and you use to stand out to me, and I know you use not silver, but you can scalp those from 20 to 25 or 21 to 26, no problem. For me, it's just the entry we had. It's kind of a different, it's again moving it from the one basket to the other. Um, a little harder for me, but the range is the point of that. If there is so much range on some of those charts, on the intraday or weekly basis, um, and they're holding the levels we like to see, whether it's a SMA or a psychological level or a previous volume profile level.
Yeah, and completely different deal, but returning to flow reads on this stuff, it's a little bit like quantum, right? And I had Rigetti for $1, and people were asking me about it, you know, at 10 and 15 and whatever. And it's like it's hard for me to even go back to those. It's like the entry was so good. I have what I have and don't really want to deal with them that much. But I eventually do, and it's there are reads there, and I've returned to quantum a couple times, and whatever. Silver, it was something that I was on, that we were on for so long, and had this long period of you know some trades there and getting some decent pops and your pullbacks and whatever. But it was basically it plateaued and did the same thing for a long time, moved higher, plateaued, did the same thing for a long time. But there was this bigger picture read out there, and then it's like after you get that, what do you do to sort of get back into it or stay engaged? And the psychology of a huge win and coming back to it. It's like it's something to think about. There's plenty of sports analogies, like you win the championship and then you're back at it in practice for the next year, and you just go you go back to it, and but everything feels different after that big win, and so I'm glad we had that pretty massive historic pullback because um, it'd be a lot harder if this were consolidating around 100.
Yeah.
I don't think the reads would be there, but with given that it's in the lower 80s, there are a lot of reads out there. So expect to see some silver here and there from me.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I'm talking about scalping AG in the 20s. I mean, I couldn't buy it at 8 when you reread it at 8 because of where I was
yeah,
positioned already. I mean,
right.
I was up, when it hit 8, I was up like 6K and basically, finally in a free position overall. And I just couldn't add there. And looking at the chart, I mean, I should have doubled. I should have tripled my position right there. 8 to 20 would have been a great trade. And it
Yeah.
is part of the game. The graduate level for me for what we do is to figure out how to manage that a little better. But if you're fresh, man, just trade the chart. Be thankful that you're fresh. I mean, use that as an
Yeah. Oh yeah.
advantage. Missing it, use that as an advantage now.
Yeah. And I mean, I talk about it all the time, and it's it's not. I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I mean, there's times in our room where basically a fuck up means that you made 30% and
Sure,
not
sure,
160%.
sure.
So like it's a uh, there have been plenty like that. Going the first round. But the thing is, you learn from that, um, and those stocks give you another opportunity, and so just go back to them. But yeah, I'll be staying on the commodities for sure.
Yeah, well, when you,
All
I
right,
mean,
so
I mean, not to
yeah,
go too much on that, but when you get a little bit downrange on your trading career, I mean, I got 300% on that, but it went to 600, and the what went to 600, I'd rather had the 90% of it at 600 than at 300. But
yes,
it's
yeah,
still, I mean, who's gonna complain about a trade like that?
yeah, absolutely. uh, Oil, I kind of talked about getting into this area. The It's kind of where I want to be, just given my positioning and all that. I did have a chance to to trim some positions, and so I'm not I'm kind of unbothered by whatever oil's doing at this point. But yeah, this is kind of what you want. You want some stability, but I didn't really like it hanging out under 60 too long, because I think there is a stress point where that starts to affect things. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine here.
Those West Coast guys are getting killed right now.
Did you get a pretty big spike? And
Yeah, we're like 440 again.
oh, it didn't move around here. Funny.
Yeah, it's something with shipping. It's that shipper thesis that you had that
Oh
so
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff is fucking with us midstream.
yeah. I mean, when around here, the like seems like every high school has an oil derrick next to their football field. But
Yeah, we don't have
you're
anything like that.
yeah, yeah. All right, so then natural gas, yeah, pretty quiet. You had that big weather related spike, liquidity grab, whatever. But still, just big picture, just one of my absolute favorites. And again, here you see this like the news. U.S. natural gas gains ahead of chilly weekend. None of that shit really actually matters for what this is. It's the geopolitical side and then the clean energy side. Like those are the two things. And I got a lot to say about clean energy in the next session. But positions, and that's kind of the mindset you should be in. And we've said the names, and the names will keep popping up.
Yeah, just hard to time gonna happen.
Yep.
I don't understand why no one's. I guess I'll say it since no one else is, and then I can say I said it first or said it more often because I said it a few times. But the man, it's everywhere. The Generac move around it. I think the Deer move is a little bit around it, but the natural gas and the AI angle. I mean, it's a thing. The power
Yeah.
needs for AI is ridiculous. The power grid can't handle it, so you have to go on site. And the easiest way to do that is natural gas. So I don't know why
Yeah.
people
Oh,
ain't
right. So
seeing that fucking
data
angle and just
centers.
pounding the table on it because I mean, it's set out there, it's needed, and if that's really gonna go that way, that's where the bottom is right now. I would rather buy the natural gas stuff and hang out in it, thinking that could happen, as opposed to buying Nvidia up here when the 50 catches up. Because if it doesn't pan out right, natural gas will just be where it's at. Okay, cool. Nvidia would take a big drawback, and I mean that's just a simple overscope of what's going on. But I mean that's just where the opportunity is in that sector for me currently. It's not even a commodity play. It's the adjacent. It's a wafer cleaner for me.
Yes, and the idea of data centers using our electric companies and power grids is a political non-starter a lot around the country. I mean, so even and it's the only bipartisan thing going right now is where you have Ron DeSantis saying the same thing as Shapiro in Pennsylvania or Newsom in California, that it's like you're not going to come in here
Use
and
PG&E.
jack up
Yep, not
all our
happening.
electric bill 60%.
It's not
Yeah.
happening.
So they're gonna have to make their own power, and that's where the nuclear thing comes from. Natural gas, like fewer obstacles, to put it lightly. It just build on that.
Well, I think that's the TransAlta stock that keeps coming up because I know that company pretty well. I think that's why that you keep getting that. It's because I can see them just being bought for they produce power on site. It wouldn't be hard to build a data center over there in the fucking corner.
Oh yeah, no, right, exactly, absolutely.
And
And
you already have the land, you already have the setup. It's just you're not going to sell the power back to the utility. You're going to just keep it. And some of those are
yep,
coal, some of those are coal fired. And I think that all links together. It's just another outlet to get power. There's coal stocks, I think, but I digress.
yes, yeah. The lithium.
Let's go.
So not at all surprised that it doubled, and could double again. But the yeah, one lithium story. A it had been around for a while, but it kind of made its way back to the news that there's a massive deposit of lithium in the United
Yep.
States,
Yeah, I've seen that.
and um, and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, that always happens, but it's just a question of it's really messy and dirty to mine that stuff. So that is important in that it kind of takes leverage that others have against us, and like, well, we could just do our own thing, and then what would and where would you be? So that control of the market is important, and I think that we have some of that, and you talk about AI and lithium, obviously necessary to power all these devices and robots and drones, and so that demand's gonna stick around. And there's miners, there's battery stocks. We'll have the reads on both, but really solid setup here.
Yeah, I got one of them this week. Really
Yep.
got two. I'm waiting for just June or July. That's one of the best trades I think I've ever walked people through. I don't know how I stole that from you, but I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
lots left though. I mean, yeah, lots left. If you look at, I
And
mean, just
then
look at this chart, 35.40. I mean, and I think really that's more of the bottom.
yeah, no, I do too. I mean the big the big drop in lithium coincided with the EV stocks drying up, and me trying to read solo and you saying no and all that. But
Hey, we traded. We got some T-shirts out of the deal. It's okay.
yeah. But yeah, new era, new regime, new reason for lithium. So should be good on the upside. All right, so China real quick, then I'll go off to the bonds. Yeah, there's a lot here, and I think we already know the large cap winners in this next move in China, and it's just going to be some small caps here and there to trade as well.
Y'all thought my list was probably random this week, but hey, I got one of them on my list too.
Yeah. So,
It's a fun game.
yeah. And then the 10-year took a pretty sustained dip. They're not going to let it touch 4 though. So stabilizing between here and 420 is probably what you want.
413. Ever heard of that? I have.
Yep.
There you go. I'm not putting a line on
And
that. I'm not putting a line on those charts, but that's where I would put it if you want one.
yeah,
413 is just a good pivot, and then the quiet candles. I think Professor touched base on that. The quiet candles do make for a better market.
yep, absolutely.
Oh yeah, let's do this one.
Yeah, I don't really have much on SPY. I mean the June 640 is still kind of the thing. 640 and 630. But not much to complement that at this point. And any upsides all short term. So a lot of noise. Be careful going long near 700. It's going to take a while.
I'm looking at my 5-minute chart here. Talk about in the box for the most part. You're getting that. You're getting previous day levels really respected. Bigger picture though, weekly wicks still gonna be it. I was messing with this when we were talking about earlier, but yeah, that 775. It's just been strong, even though 660 is kind of our number, but that 775 has been strong, and obviously 7 to the top. Last couple weeks, you can see those 3 candles. The bodies of them are right there at the 90. So you got definitive range. I mean, I would think if you were you trade like Goose, these 3 candles you would love. I mean, we're talking $20 range on SPY, so more of the same. Volume looks pretty decent. It's not like super dead here by any means. Where are we? About halfway through ER season, you think?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, maybe 3 more candles, maybe getting a little tighter here. The big thing, again, I said it earlier, the big thing that's going to send this is, a peace deal. Peace deals have always been bullish, and the way we're moving makes this conflict look pretty big. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. Get out of ER and get a little peace, and you'll be seeing the talking head. I'll screen cap it 700.
Yeah.
All time high when it's on the bottom of the screen. So just where we are. Don't get shook out. I think would be my saying right here, P.
Yeah.
Definitely look at the bigger candles, and go from there. A little slower on entries, a little quicker on exits if you're day trading, and yeah, you should be fine. Reasonable expectations. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. You go fishing, you snowboarding, I don't know. But if you go up to the mountain, it's fucking icy. You don't get to go on your favorite run. And if you go to the fucking fishing and it's raining, it's harder to fish, right? I don't know what you fucking guys do, but it's just it's not the best conditions. God damn it.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, even for like scalping options, if you're ready and you can get a move, there's some things there. But on the QQQ side of it, I just said short it over 620, or that's where you get your SQQQ, and then you move in and out of it. 600 is a lot harder to deal with than I mean, yes, you do get some bounces off of it, but you don't get that sustained momentum, so it'll just eat you up during the day. So you just got to be careful there. But yeah, real quick on earnings, I'll close here. Very active earnings week. In anytime when Nvidia reports, that's kind of the you have your rising action and the climax, pinnacle, and the storytelling, and then you get your falling action and resolution and all that. So it's always the peak of earnings season lately, and then things slow down after that. But it's not the best name on here. So I just look at this and I see 5 that I care about quite a bit, and we'll talk about them.
He says he sees 5, but last 5 he's gonna ask about 8.
Yeah. No.
You ready to get to work, P?
Yep. We'll do it.
Like and subscribe. Link somewhere, people.